Oh yeah, you can't. You got to go in some environments to bring your own environment. Once I heard Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan say that, he said you got to bring your own atmosphere. You got to bring your own atmosphere. You dealing with some of these people, and then it's a reason why sometimes you don't get invited to certain things. People don't want to see you with too much. It's a compliment. They saying, man, you too goddamn powerful. I'm not going to empower your light, because what it's going to do is now you going to shed too much light on my darkness. See, it's that thing where you irritate people demons. I know I irritate people demons. I seen a brother explain it. He said, Keys got so many. He said, why Keys doing the same thing I'm doing? He said, I'm talking and Keys talking. He said, but the brother got all of the resources. He said, now listen, my greatest resource is my mind. If you want to expose the fact that I'm smarter than you, then that's fine. If you want to expose the fact that you believe that, I can take nothing from and turn it into something, that's fine. But my resources are the same as yours, and that's a mind. My ability to communicate and build relationships with people, that's fine. But I don't take shit from the industry. You know what I'm saying? Everything we do on our own because we know how to operate. The problem with some people, they don't get to build is because they don't know what to do with the tools of reality. Some people ain't made it to where they supposed to be simply because they ain't got a PR agent or got a booking agent. It ain't got nothing to do with nobody holding you down. It's the ignorance of how you bring yourself up. See, you got to even know the way that the world, you have to have a knowledge of the world. You got to have a knowledge of the world. You know what I'm saying? And if you don't have a knowledge of the world and the things around you, the people around you, you can't customize a strategy for specifically you. Everybody has to have a different strategy how they bring themselves up. Unless you fit into, a evergreen strategy where it's like, okay, you're a rapper that wants to rap about sex and this, that, and the third, then boom, we gonna follow the same strategy as everybody else. But if you consider yourself to be outside of the mainstream, you think that you can follow the same pathways that was made for somebody, that was never made for somebody like you, rather? No, you have to customize your strategy, and it has to be every single day. The thing that people don't want to admit is that sometimes the people that are further than you in life is just simply because they work harder than you and they smarter than you. I've never seen nobody admit that ever in my life. Not one single hater I've ever seen admit this person is up simply because they are smarter than me and they have better strategies than I do and they work harder. You never would. It has to be a completely different reason. It has to be some fabricated, crazy conspiracy of why this person is able to take maybe even the same knowledge or less knowledge or the same truth and go further than you. It always has to be something else. People never look at themselves. Maybe you don't know how the relationship build. Maybe you don't know how to create content and learn the psychology of creating content to be able to get ideas out there in a matter with good taste and design, right? Which can reach the masses of people utilizing the sciences that you have access to. I've never in my life, I've never seen nobody make a video and say, you know what, this person is ahead of me simply because they are smarter than me, more focused, work hard, and they got a good strategy on how they go about living life. Because they was able to study what didn't work and what do work, and they found that space in their niche, and now they execute daily. I've never seen that. See, I'm able to admit that consistently, which allows me to improve the conditions that I find myself in. You say, bro, think he Einstein. I'm smarter than Einstein. Not in everything. The difference between Einstein is, man, we got goddamn years on Einstein, decades on Einstein. I don't have to be smarter than Einstein at what he's smart at. I have to be smarter than Einstein at what I'm smart at. He couldn't do what I do. And I can run thought experiments. I can think. And I just didn't grow up in a scientific paradigm, you know what I'm saying, given access to education at a young age. We had to goddamn self-teach, and during self-teach, You become a scientist within your own experimentation of self-development. I've come up with many formulas. We've made many changes. We've built many platforms. We reach millions upon millions of people all across the planet Earth. And then I'm just a person that got the audacity to say things. You can take it as true fact, fiction. It's up to you. I'm gonna keep playing a role as a star in my own movie. That's all. Some of you all don't even want to be the star in your movie. That's the problem with you. You don't know how to play main character. You know what I'm saying? You got to learn how to play main character. And I'm going to tell you that the power of that, right, is being able, there's something called normalcy bias. See, for futurists, normalcy bias is a great mentality or not mental exercise to do. When I'm always thinking about the future. The more you think about the future, especially when you go into detail thinking about the future, right? The more normal it becomes to you when it actually happens, right? You're able to understand details and ideas before they become mainstream, right? So the way science fiction works, the way media works, is they have to first impression you with ideas first, right? If you look at AI, they've been showing you Terminator and Matrix and iRobot and all sort of different things for years, so that the more you see it, the more it can become normal to you, because we have a streamline of what we think is normal. So when some things happen, we automatically fight against them because we like, that don't make no sense to us, right? But the more you see something, the more it's impression into you, the more you think about something, it changes what is normal to you, especially when you get into the details of it. That's how the brain works. But when you think something is normal and then something new happens, you reject it because you don't think that's normal. So we have a normalcy bias. So you have to be impressioned and conditioned with an idea over and over and over and over until it becomes a normal. And then you no longer fight that. You accept it as normal. So as a futurist, we practice thinking about the future a lot in the details of the future. What could happen if this come about? What could happen if that come about? So what it does is, right, it increases your reaction time when things happen. So when you know you've already thought about what could happen, while another person feels like something is not normal, it's going to decrease their reaction time. So now they don't know what to do when something happens. When it's normal to you, you already know what to do. I'm already ready to execute on new technological developments, new ways to do things, because I've already thought of these things, so it's already normal to me. So when you can get rid of your normalcy bias and it allows you to start thinking on the future, right? Now it allows you to accept it, and now it allows you to execute and interact with the opportunities presented in new times. See, I always say, you can have the past, I want the future. Some people be fighting over the past. Y'all can fight over the past all you want to. I can't go back and change the color of a single ancestor. I can't go back and reinvent something and put my name on the patent. I can't go back and do none of that. But the future, I can own that. That one mine. Y'all can have the past. I want the future. You can have the past. I want the future. Some of y'all just so stuck on the past, and you think it's that goddamn important. You learn it, but it's Sankofa. We look back while moving forward. We don't get stuck. Oh, okay. You learned that lesson. Let me keep moving forward, though. Y'all can have the past. See, as a people, we've been arguing about the past and fighting over the past for so long. See, they fight over the future, and this has been the biggest misdirection that I've seen, and biggest issue that I've seen is the direction of our fight. The direction of our fight has never been about the future. It has been about the past. At some point in time, we got to stop being backwards and turn around and fight for the future. We've been fighting for the past for too goddamn long. See, there's no true accountability in the past, and there's no real true proof. The past is all perspective. We can only piece together fidgets of things to decide what we want to believe that fits in the narrative that we want to control. But if it's not to control the future, then what's the point? So as we now change the brain wave and the brain pattern, we're learning things for the future. Let's control the future. Y'all can have the past, I want the future. Remember that. Let's become future proof. This is why when new things, it's so many, why you ain't talking about this or that? Why you ain't listen, I'm gonna remind you, but right after that, we're going straight to the future. How many years we want to own? How far in the future we want to own? 100 years, 1,000 years? You know what I'm saying? See, we go back to the past to reinforce that this future is possible, but not to live there. Some people want to build a time machine and they want to go back into the past. Nah, I want to go to the future. Past already happened. The future is the one thing that, you know, there are infinite possibilities. The past doesn't give you infinite possibilities. The future does. The future is where all of the imagination can come true, not the past. Sure, you can go and rewrite and recolorize and, you know, re-narrate things that have happened, but they can only be within certain guidelines. They can't go too far, whether Hannibal Barker was black or white, right? You know, whether Africa was Al-Qabunan or whether it was Ethiopia or whether it was called Asia, right? There's still not too much that you can change, right? The past is maybe a multiple choice answer. The future is a multiverse answer. It can be anything, quite literally. The black imagination has to be impregnated, right, with ideas of the future. This is how, and you know, based on science, the black woman has the most powerful womb on the planet Earth. The black man has the most powerful mind on the planet Earth. When we are impregnated with anything, we change everything. Fellas, when was the last time you was mentally pregnant with a vision? So, the goal, and I need y'all to answer, how many people type in future if you want to own your future? See, we're going to get into something that we never truly get about. We don't get into it enough. And we got to get real specific. The more specific we can get about the type of future we want, the better. See, the beauty about these AI tools, and we ain't got to call them AI, I'm going to call them 19 tools. These are the tools of 19. It's called playing God tools, right? Because that AI just equals 1-9 when you talk about numerical value. When we talk about them 1-9 tools, these 19 tools are the ability for you to take everything that exists between the 1 through the 9, 1 being the smallest digit number, 9 being the highest digit number. And once that 1 reaches that 9, it collapses back down to that 1. So that's 1 plus 9 equals 10, right? And then 1 plus 0 equals 1. That's birth, right? Once you get to it, it's birth. See, when you understand that 1 is a 1 and 9 is just 9 ones, right? That's power when you understand how to do it. When you're talking about 1 plus 1 comes together to make a third force. See, it's different. You understand me? When the ones come together, they taught you 1 plus 1, right? But they'll teach you about the third force that when ones come together, each time a 1 comes together, there's always a third force. It's like 2 ingredients or 2 chemicals coming together. Once they are combined, they create something completely new. The reaction from there, the chain of molecules start to change. See, once you understand the science of numbers, things really become raw for you. You know what I'm saying? Once you can observe the world from a mathematical thinkers, which is more so just being logical. We've been taken away from math thinking and logic thinking so far, like it sounds, we insult it when we hear it. Oh, that's that conscious talk, that's that hotep talk. Like, think about the people that you've lost your spiritual compass, you've lost the mathematical mind, you lost the Kabbalah mind, you lost all of these minds. So when you hear occult knowledge, When you hear mysticism and mystical knowledge, when you hear high level knowledge of anything, we make fun of it now. We become so ignorant because it's not mainstream. The mainstream is just what's being fed to the masses. That's what mainstream means. I don't want to drink from the fountain of the mainstream. We already know that they put fluoride in that. No, your goal is to, when you hear, it's foreign language to the uninitiated for sure. It's like, what is he talking about? Is it a riddle? It's like, no. It's just your mind hasn't developed the language of higher understanding yet. School doesn't teach you higher understanding. Why the hell would a school want you to become a master of reality? Why would they teach you how to control institutions and build institutions? Why would they teach you how to control reality? They don't want you knowing that kind of stuff. But why is it that your professors may study it? Why is it that the masters of the world, the leaders and the generals, you know what I'm saying, the managerial class, which is the class that controls the presidents, they study this, but they not going to teach you the knowledge of power and conquering, because they don't want to create a class of people that's out there doing that. So when you hear things that are foreign, and you're like, wait a minute, I didn't get that. We got to stop making fun of, you know what I mean, the keys to our freedom. That's what we do. And they've controlled the mind to the masses so much that when somebody starts speaking those keys to your freedom and giving you something high level, you make fun of it. Oh, this nigga said we could be free. You start laughing. This is how great they played the trick on the mind of the masses. They never even teach you, went to school all them years and they never taught you how to research. Went to school all those years and never taught you how to think or think for self.